just bursting on the scene. Feel the rush in minutes. Ride the high energy wave for hours. 10 nutrition products. Get you at Nutrition Depot.
Switch on the box for the mayhem and shame. Alive now and demonstrate this credit to name. It's a bless for me, all the blessed for you. It all depends on the works that you do. I saw you standing over by the wall, looking like you just got back in the mall, turning up your nose, girl, and everyone you
That's
see.
it. Right now, what we're doing right now is called a preacher curl, but we're doing it with a tighter grip, so we hit a lot of the brachialis. Not so much just the peak of the bicep, but get the brachialis also. Come on. That's it. 15 reps. 15 reps. Breathe it out. Come on. That's it. Good. For a small muscle group, I always try to do at least 9 sets. That's all we need because we're going to train pretty hard.
Sure.
You know, we may do 4 sets for this, but then everything else is going to be just 3.
And obviously, with any smaller muscle group, you don't need 20 sets.
No.
Your sets are generally
Overkill.
cut down as it is normally, so obviously a smaller group is going to be even more so.
Yes.
And the brachialis muscle, for those who don't know at home, Charles, is the small muscle right
We
here
never
between
hit. The one we never hit.
bicep and the tricep that nobody ever
You'll
hits.
see a lot of guys on stage that have a big bicep, big tricep, and then their arms flat. You know, and you're like, something's missing, but people don't know what it is. It's because the brachialis
You'll
muscle
notice
hasn't
it,
developed.
and you'll notice it in 2 poses in particular: the back double biceps, and actually the front relaxed pose where you're standing like this.
You
Where
don't
there's
see
that
it.
big void right there.
Right. But we'll take care of that.
This is a great machine to do this because you've got this handle system here, which actually curves up from a straight
It
position.
allows you to go all the way down into
Sure.
it and hit it right. There we go. Good. Alvin has some great biceps. See, he trains your arms. Look at the brachialis on him.
Yeah.
It's coming out really nice. Yeah, this is right here where we're working. Also, at the top, we hit the peak of the bicep. Lock it in more. There
Charles,
you
I
go.
noticed
Good.
that Adam's not sitting on this. He's actually got his legs back, actually leaning out over this. Is that by design?
Yes, because once you start to sit, you end up having a tendency to rock back with it. But when you're leaning into it, all the pressure is right on the bicep.
Gotcha.
There you go. Woo.
Good
There
stuff.
you go. See, the contraction is much greater this way than any other way. When you sit there and you rock with it, you lose that contraction. But when you're leaning into the movement of the muscle, contraction is great.
Plus, you're specifically trying to hit this muscle group, not the biceps in particular. So you're
No.
going to do that as we continue.
Oh yeah, yeah. But we want the brachialis and also a little bit of the bicep.
Sure.
Breathe. There you go. Come on, bring it up. Good. Lean into the pull. Right there. That's it. Hold the head up a little more. There you go. Right there. Squeeze it out. Ready? Hold it. Now let go.
Charles, I noticed even on this
Now
exercise,
let go.
even though he's got a grip on there, his grip is loose. He's only using.
Because you don't need it because you got this bar here.
That's
the
right.
way it's curved. Perfect. Perfect. So that way there's not a lot of stress on the forearm.
But
all on the
I
bicep.
noticed he's not white knuckling that
No,
thing.
no,
Again,
no.
putting the emphasis on the forearms, taking it off the brachialis muscle where you're
There you
trying to train.
Yes.
All bicep.
That's it. Come on, bring it up. Squeeze it out. Come on. That's it.
Cha.
3 more. 3. Give me 3. Come on.
Cha.
2. Come on. Come on. Last one. Bring it. Come on. Bring it. Bring it. That's it. Got it. All right. Good set. Now flex it. Come on. Hold it. Ready? Breathe. There you go. That's it.
Good bicep development.
Good. All right. Now what I'd like to do, I'll hit 1 bicep, 1 tricep, 1 bicep, 1 tricep. Why? Because if I keep hitting bicep, all I'm gonna do is fatigue that muscle, and I'm not gonna get a lot out of it. I'd rather switch it up every now and then, so that way I get a lot more productivity out of it. All right.
Okay, Adam, how's that pump so far?
I can hardly move my arms right now, man. It's good. It's good.
Just remember, you asked for it. Charles, what do we got here?
Right now we're going to tricep, and what we're gonna do is the decline. Well, traditionally you do it on a flat bench, but I like to do a decline because I get a lot more stress on that tricep and the contraction is much greater. So, you ready?
Let's go.
We start with the weight.
Now, Charles, can we do this with a big body part as well, or is it pretty much relegated to small body parts where you're going from bicep to tricep?
You can do it on a big body part, but you wear a big body part out faster.
Right.
There's no such thing as you're going to do chest, back, chest,
Right,
back.
that's what I was gonna say.
That's two big body parts,
Okay.
and you won't. Forget
Forget
it. Forget it.
Okay.
Elbows in, down to the forehead, now toward my hand. There you go. Now you have the stress where? On your tricep. That's it. Come on, bring it up. Good. At the top, you want to squeeze it. Hold it. There you go. Hold it. That's it. Come on. Good. Come on. Bring it up. Give me 12. Give me 12 reps. Good. Come on. That's it.
Okay.
Got it.
Tough one. So we're on a decline.
Yes.
You've also got, he's obviously on a decline angle. He's also angling the bar back.
Right
This
toward
is
me.
not a skull crusher. This is
No.
a French curl. Big
More
difference.
French curl, yes.
Big difference. A skull crusher traditionally
You bring it to-
comes
yes,
from about the bridge of your nose straight
it's
up.
flat, but what
A
happens-
French curl comes off the back of your head and on an angle.
But you got to understand, when you do it this way, you put more stress on your tricep and less on your what? Joints.
On the joints.
Yeah.
Very important.
There you go. Come on. Good. Good. Come on. That's it. That's it. Good. That's it. Come on. Come on. Take it up. Two more. Last one coming up. Bring it to me. Got it.
Woo!
All right, 70 in the first set, jumped it up, 85 in the second. You going up for a third?
Yeah, we're going up. We keep going up until the form starts to, you don't want the form to suffer.
Right.
That's it. If your form starts to suffer, check your ego, leave it outside, make sure
Right.
you don't hurt yourself. know
Adam,
what
you
I mean?
notice the difference between doing this on the decline and doing it on a flat bench?
Yeah, I mean, you just feel a constant pressure in your triceps. But the sweet thing is about this exercise, it's just your tricep.
Right.
I don't feel it in my shoulders. I
Sure.
don't feel it in my elbows. And I certainly don't feel it in my wrists. It's all in the tricep, As Charles said, he knows what he's doing, man. That's why I trust him.
He's
That's
probably
why
done this a few times, I'm thinking.
once or twice, man.
Twice. Okay, what's the jump, Charles? We went from 70, 85, now we're up another
95.
10 pounds,
Yeah.
95 pounds.
Yes. Come on. Hold it. Bring it up. Hold it. There you go. Good. Back foot knee more. There you go. Come on. Come on. One more.
It's good. It's good.
Good stuff. And Charles, I just want to emphasize once again, when you're doing these, he is not bringing the bar straight up and down.
Oh,
He's
no.
keeping it
At
on
an
an
angle.
angle,
Yes.
constantly keeping tension on the triceps.
Yes. That from start to finish, there's tension. There's never one time that muscle's going to relax. Where skull crushes, what happens? You take a little pressure off.
Sure, you get that little rest pause at the top. Now, is there any instance, I notice you have a close grip on the Easy Curl Bar, is there any instance that you would use a wide grip on here?
I mean, you can go wide and make it a lot thicker, but then you take the chance of an injury because
Sure.
then you open yourself up. Now that elbow is going to get a little pain. Whether you use a straight bar, Easy Curl Bar, whatever, it's going to pull up more stress there. By you keep your elbows in,
Sure.
it takes stress off that tendon that's running through.
So, and you're using the grip to keep the elbows in. I've noticed in your training, Charles, you're adamant about not forcing the elbows or the knees or anything into a particular position. You're pretty much letting them go where they want to go.
You have to. That way you avoid that. And a lot of people want to force the thing.
Right.
Now you're forcing that muscle to act unnatural. In order to go natural, it's going to always flare out just a little. So I don't mind it flaring out a little. I'm not going to let you do this
Right,
because now
of course.
it's a totally different exercise. But if it's going to flare a little, let it flare a little. But as you go up, bring it back in where it should be.
But one thing I've seen over the years is trainers actually, like somebody's here doing a behind the neck press, and they're actually holding their elbows in.
Wrong. Can't do it.
Couldn't be more wrong. I mean, you are
Can't do it.
forcing the elbow and the shoulder into a particular position that's not a natural position.
And that's an injury waiting to happen.
Exactly right. How's it feeling, Adam?
Feel good,
All right.
feel good.
Come on. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Right here. Bring it to me. Right here. Bring it to me. We'll help. We'll help. Come on. One more. Ready? Squeeze. There you go.
Thanks, man.
Charles, I noticed you didn't go up on the last set. Is that by design, or are you just purely going by where his strength is at?
I'm watching him. If he's going to fatigue a little sooner, I can't take him up.
Right.
So if I take him up, I'm going to do the work. His muscles not going to get anything out of it.
Sure. So you have a general idea of where he trains, because obviously he has trained under you before.
Yes.
But you're always kind of going by the day, so to say, or the Weider instinctive training principle, as we all come to know it.
You know, look at it this way. I can push him hard as I want, but what's going to happen? He's going to fatigue, his muscles are going to fail, he's going to get an injury. But if I watch him and just instinctively watch how he trains, it's easier to gauge what he can do and what he can't do.
One thing I've noticed with all great trainers, they rarely write anything down. They have a general idea, but like you say, you're going to kind of go with the flow. If he's strong one day, you're going to go with it. If he's a little weaker, maybe as the carbs are coming down closer to the competition, you're going to take that assessment that there's a reason why the weights come on and off.
Right. Well, I mean, with certain individuals, you know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So you watch them and observe how they're training. You know when they're fatiguing,
Sure.
You can't go up. And why would I write it down from day to day? That's going to change depending on how many calories
That's
you're
right.
taking in that day or whatever.
A lot of different factors.
Yeah, cardio, could be
Sure.
didn't sleep well that night, whatever. So I just watch him. We go by what he can do. So like you said, instinctive principle
Sure.
is very good.
That's true.
Okay, what's next? Back to biceps?
We go back to biceps, and what I want to do this time, I'm going to do what we call a prone curl. It's a new machine also.
Prone
Ready?
curl. Let's do it.
Smooth, stylish, sick. Straight
So right here, what we're going to do is call a prone curl. And if you notice, he's going to sit very low, so his arms are parallel. And we're going to pull it into our bicep. We're not going to force him to have it way above where he's just doing like a elbow curl. I don't want to do that. I want to do a strict prone curl. Here we
got
go.
it.
You notice his hands are wider?
Yep.
Because we're working for more thickness here now. There you go. Come on. Bring it in. Now push your elbow slightly in, just tap. There you go. Now you're on top of it. Work for that thickness. If you notice on these, you can always go free grip because it doesn't bother you. On like a barbell or dumbbell, we got to really grip that bar a little tighter. So here we can open the hand up, keep the stress off the forearm, put more on the bicep. There you go. Last two. Last one. That's it. Good.
So Charles, we talk a lot about, again, de-emphasizing certain body parts, again, taking the grip and loosening it up. Obviously by using a machine, like you said, we're able to do that much more than a barbell. But I can't emphasize enough that when you're bodybuilding, and there is a difference between bodybuilding, weightlifting, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, you're just trying to train the biceps. You're not trying to break world records by putting 40 more pounds on here and gripping this and curling the wrist so that the forearm comes into play. You're not anything about that.
No, it's not about how strong you are, because once you're on that stage, they look at the physique. They want to see what your physique looks like.
Right.
And so if we can do less weight and avoid injuries, we're that much ahead of the game.
So there's no round in bodybuilding, you have to curl a barbell or bench press.
No round at all. It's not like the old Ironman where you do powerlifting and bodybuilding.
Right.
This is different.
Back in the 40s.
Here we go.
Back when you first started competing.
Two down. Try to keep the shoulders out. There you go. Good. You notice them biceps are really pumping up fat. That's good. Come on. Good. One more. Oh, that's all right.
Here's go.
Yeah,
Like a
all
true
right.
champ.
You had it.
Charles, two things I'm noticing as Adam writhes in pain over here. One, and this is a technique I picked up years ago that I stole from you, of course, was keeping the wrist back.
Slightly back. Why?
Slightly back.
Take the stress off what?
Takes stress off the forearm.
Yeah.
So always keeping that nice flat palm and curling it up.
Yes.
And obviously, as you mentioned, he's got his legs back off the machine again, so he's not rocking back.
Right.
He's actually pitched into the machine.
He's not using all the other secondary and third, muscles he can use. He's just using primary muscles.
His range of motion we would consider full range, even though he's not completely straightening out the bicep.
Understand this, when you completely straighten it all the way out, what are you doing to those tendons and stuff now? You gotta be very careful. Slightly bent, bring it back in. This is complete. this here, you're hyperextending the elbow, you're causing other injuries there.
Right, because you want to keep the muscle in play. We're not talking about, again, when we're talking about full range of muscle, full range of movement, we're not talking about
muscle
completely hyperextending the arm. That's where you run into problems. Because the bicep's going to stop functioning at this
And all
part,
the stress goes
right on
elsewhere.
the tendons and the ligaments.
There you
the
go.
last thing you want to be training.
Okay, let's go. Drop down just a little bit more. There you go. Good. That's it. Let it stretch. Let it stretch. Right there. That's it. Good. Come on out. Right there. Good. That's it. That's it. Stretch it. Perfect. Come on. Come on. Bring it in. Squeeze. There you go. Bring it in and squeeze. There we go. Squeeze. Come on. One more. Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in. That's it. Good. Set.
You know, Charles, you never know who you're going to bump into here at Gold's Gym, and who do we have but bodybuilding.com's favorite other guy, other than myself, of course, Hollywood Jerome Ferguson. Jerome, look who decided to join the party.
Man, Adam in the house, dude. You looking great, dude. Much love. You know,
Jerome, what do you say, man? Want to get some workouts in with Adam?
you know what, dude? Where's Charles?
Charles is right here, and he's going to be standing right next to you when you're
See,
training.
you know what, man? I don't know, man. You guys got to mentally prepare me for Charles Glass. You know what? But no, I would love to. Whenever Charles will, I would love to be a part of anything Charles got going, looking like this, man. Shucks, man.
Come on
you
in,
got
man.
great, dude.
Come
You
on
got a
in,
show
man.
coming up
Thanks,
yourself, don't you?
You know what, dude? I'm gonna probably know it in November. That's why I've been kind of running from Charles. I seen Charles. Has anybody seen Charles? You know. So I'm gonna wait around till November.
All right.
You know, trying to get some other things going. Trying to live a normal life for a change. But one thing about me, if I start one, it don't go the way I want to. You know, I get Charles Glass. We're going to hunt.
There we go.
You know, so I was trying to level it all out and be normal. You know, show you guys some love. What's up? You know, and it's going to ease on there to the Nationals.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, show them, you know who loves you, baby. It's like all that, baby. You know?
All right, Jerome, we'll catch up with you on a few workouts, buddy.
Perfect.
You got
Much
it.
love, dude. You look
Thanks,
great.
man. Thank you, man.
Hey, you got to give us Bob Cigarella. He is the man, dude.
I agree.
Stand next to me. Stand next to the real man.
Never a bad day when Jerome's around, that's for sure. All right.
Ready? That's 3. We got tricep.
He's a mile a minute, ain't he?
He can go. All right, what we're going to do now is take it over to tricep. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to hit more of the inner head. So we do a tricep push down, but with a rope. At the end, we're going to open it up so we get a lot of the outer head on this here. You got to start out inner, but it goes right to outer as we push the rope. Okay?
Ropes it is.
Go.
Yeah. Straight gangsta. For sure.
Okay, notice, look at the stance. He's bending at the waist into the bar. Into the machine itself. This way allows him to push down and squeeze. If he was standing upright, it'll be dragging along his body, which we don't want, because now you're getting your shoulders involved. This way we keep the shoulders out. Here we go. Open it at the bottom. Good. Now really turn that wrist. Turn. There you go. That's it. That wrist completely turned over. Come on. Turn it over. Good. Do it again. Completely turn it over. Perfect. Come on. Do it again. Turn it over. Good. Give me 3. Give me 3. Give me 2. Come on. Come on. Hold it. There you go. That's it. That's it. Good.
How's it feeling, Adam?
That's how it feels.
Pretty good?
Can hardly speak.
Charles, one of the things I noticed is with the finesse exercise, you'll tend to burn out a lot quicker. Is that because you are so isolated on a small muscle group that it obviously doesn't have a whole lot of staying power?
Well, we isolate it, but we also slow it down. With the bigger muscle group, you know, people, they rack through it.
Right.
But I make sure they go a little slower, so where all the tension is where? Right on the muscle. That's it. Come on. Squeeze. Good. Do it again. Squeeze it down. Perfect. Come on. Push. Come on. Good. Come on. Okay, when you drop set, ready? Stop. Easy, here we go. Now move it nice and slow. There you go, good. Come on, slow it down, good. I need one more, just like that, just one. Come on, squeeze, 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 turn, that's it, turn out. Good set.
Stick a fork in him, Charles. He's done.
He's cooked.
Anything more for arms, Charles?
That's it for today, because I don't want to destroy it.
And as you said at the top, we don't want to do a whole lot of sets. You know, you're looking at about 9 each one, biceps and triceps tops.
Total 9, but sometimes we only end up getting 6 the way we train muscles, because we train it very hard, very slow, and it takes a lot more energy to put into that muscle group than to just fire it off. You get 16, 20 sets that way, but we don't want it that way. We want it to grow without doing a lot of sets.
Okay, so we got a little recap then. We started out with bis.
Yes, I like to start with bis because that's the muscle that people love to train anyway. And a lot of times the triceps is normally the dominant muscle group on a lot of guys. If you ever look, Adam has really good development on his triceps. So I want to pull those biceps up the match. So that's why I started with bis. And we actually did 4 sets there so we can get really squeezed in and get that blood coursed in there. And then from there we went to triceps. So we polished it off with another 4 sets. Then we end up doing 3 and 3. It makes it even because now it's perfect for him, because anything more than that is going to destroy him.
Sure.
I like the decline tricep extension because why? It goes behind the head, it keeps it off the joints, joint free.
Sure.
And you don't have to like really grip that bar. You can have it a lot loose because you use the easy curl bar and have a good natural position and just push through. You know, from there we go to what we call a prone curl, but same thing. The legs are way behind you. And we just bring it up easy, keeping the wrist slightly back, keeping it off the forearm and also off the wrist. Now we drop down lower, so we take the shoulders out of the play, and everything's on what? The bicep now. Just a bicep movement. And by the time we get to that set, I'm telling you, from the prior set, he's dead. This is the pumping exercise and get more blood into that muscle. Now we come over to a tricep pushdowns. Why? Because we're going to feel that outside head where we never hit. So doing it with the rope, turning it out, going to really focus on that outside head. It's going to hit it just right. By turning at the bottom, squeezing, it works perfect.
You got it. Well, arms are looking pumped.
Feel good, man. As I say, you know, one thing I've learned from Charles through the years, and I always tell my clients the same thing, is that it's not the quantity, it's the quality. That's what we're going for, and that's why, you know, this is amazing how much knowledge he has, and not pushing you past that limit where you're gonna get hurt. I feel like just so much blood right now, I don't need to go anymore. It's done. It's over. You know what I mean? I feel good.
Time for more food, Adam.
That's right, more
food.
food.
It's like the Bob Bowls in your future at the firehouse.
Yeah, let's go back.
You got it. Well, once again, for Adam Kirby, Super Trainer Charles Glass, I'm Bob Ciccarello for bodybuilding.com, and we'll see you next time on Getting Cut with Glass.
You wanna step to us.
JetFuel, the latest in fat-burning technology. JetFuel, a revolutionary breakthrough just bursting on the scene. Feel the rush of minutes. Ride the high-energy wave for hours. And nutrition products. JetFuel and Nutrition